It looks like any supermarket in any city around the world. Busy shoppers rush to grab groceries for their families. But unlike some supermarkets, there's a special section where managers have gone to great lengths to inform their customers about the contents of their products. These foods aren't gourmet or organic, they're genetically modified. Managers of this store in Lanzhou City in northwest China cordon off GM foods sold here to make sure customers know exactly what they're buying. It follows a rather groundbreaking decision by the provincial government declaring all GM products sold in this province must be labelled and kept on their own shelves. The new rules, which took effect on March 1, make Gansu the first province in China to clearly label GM foods.
There are concerns about the safety of genetically modified food, and when the new rules come into effect, some food retailers were worried they would experience a drop in sales.
But 1 month on, consumers' attitudes have surprised both the government and retailers.
There's not been much of an impact on our supermarket. Sales of either GM products or non-GM products haven't changed much. The sales of both types of cooking oil are almost the same as before the policy was implemented. We can say that non-GM oil is still more popular than the GM one.
Most of the consumers support our move. The retailers have also shown their support. We are doing so is just to guarantee the consumer's right to know in accordance with the law.
Zhao says the experience of this supermarket is not an isolated one. There have been no reports of a drop in GM product sales since the new rules were introduced. For some customers, GM products are still popular because of their price.
Take this 5-liter bottle of cooking oil, for example. This GM bottle costs 59.5 yuan, while the non-GM bottle costs 69.5 yuan.
Like many countries around the world, debate has raged in China over the safety of GM food. Here, 90% of soybean oil, which makes up half of all cooking oil consumption, is made from GM soybeans. GM rice and corn has been grown in China since 2009, after the country issued 2 biosafety certificates to 2 strains of pest-resistant crops. But in 2013, celebrities, netizens and ordinary Chinese joined together, calling for greater transparency surrounding the sale of GM products and consumers' rights to know exactly what they're buying. When authorities in South China's Hainan province discovered illegal planting of GM corn and cotton, they delayed announcing their findings, all too aware of the public's concerns. Despite widespread concern, many Chinese are still unaware about exactly what the effects of GM food are.
转基因我不了解。
如果在那个商场选择商品的话，既有转基因的，也有非转基因的，你会选择哪一个？
一般选择是非转基因的，因为我们都是用惯了的嘛，那转基因的反正是不好接受。
还是感觉心里有顾虑。
哎，对。
Even Ha, the supermarket supervisor who's in charge of food safety and the sale of GM food in this supermarket, admits there needs to be more information.
The GM food is cheaper than the non-GM one. But whether consuming GM food can result in negative side effects for our health, I'm not sure.
Some experts say public concerns over GM food are due to a lack of available information. They're calling on the government to disclose more information on GM foods and allay their fears.
Let's assume genetically modified food is safe. But if consumers don't get relevant information in a timely way, they may feel worried and think otherwise. A lack of information may mislead consumers. The government should not only guarantee the public's right to know, but this right to know should have been upheld in the first place.